holds out, and it shows we are live. Hey everybody,
Sir.
welcome. It's been a week or two. Back here on Sunday, both on Rumble. Rumble should be live. I've got a green check mark, so it shows Rumble is live. YouTube, we're still alive. For now. I'm sure they'll ban us before too
It's
long.
7:02. We got to wait till 7:10.
Yeah, man. I actually did a video this week and it's still up. It even got monetized. So
Whoa.
I did.
Did Elon buy YouTube too?
Man, he needs to. I did a video on. I'm gonna show it because it's just a trigger by itself. I did a video for the Dagger guys on how to basically get the most performance without buying anything, like nothing from me. From Walmart, and it actually has done so. I think almost 600 people have seen it so far. So
wow, look at you!
I know I'm regular.
You're like Logan Paul.
Yeah. Oh no. Which I'm not the one who's fighting Tyson.
No.
Is that's the other one? Jake Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul is a wrestler now. He's
a
WWE wrestler.
God. And they're both fucking crypto scammers like nobody else. But I'll tell you that fight, you see shit. I don't pay attention to all that stuff, but it comes up on Facebook because that's all the rage. And if it was a legitimate fight, that poor kid.
Ass beat. It's okay. So here's the thing. I'm big into the fighting sports. Huge.
Yeah. Okay.
I watch everything from WWE all the way up through boxing and UFC. Like UFC 300 was yesterday. I was watching it. It was crazy.
Okay.
It was amazing. If you didn't watch it and you want to watch amazing fights, that's where you go.
Okay.
But anyway, so they have made the Tyson Paul fight a non-exhibition sanctioned match.
Okay.
So that means that if Tyson throws the fight, he'll get a loss on his record, and Logan will get the win. Right. So this is a legitimate sanctioned fight now, and they have rules. They've already settled on gloves and rounds and round length and everything, and all of it points to a legitimate fight, which is interesting because I felt like it was going to be an exhibition, which means there's no rules. There's a ref that's in there that's paid by somebody, and then there's no real judges, like not sanctioned judges.
Yeah.
And so it can end up going fucking any way that it wants to, but now it's a little different. And rip Jake Paul, because fucking Mike Tyson, I want him to destroy him.
I'll tell you though, it's kind of funny. Even as a legitimate fight, he's still gonna make a lot of money. Let's the legitimacy of it still I'm kind of like, he's gonna make a ton of money. He gets a loss on his record. He's 58 years old. Like what? Yeah, 58 years old. He's not gonna be fighting anymore. What's one loss when he's gonna make like $20 million?
That's true. I'm curious. I'm curious to see if like Tyson has a warrior spirit, and if he taps into that, he won't allow himself to lose.
Yeah, I legitimate fight. He beats his ass. Like
for sure.
There's no doubt in my mind. But whether or not it does become a legitimate fight, I don't know. I mean, he beat my ass so many times on regular Nintendo. It's not even funny. The few times I ever got to him, he beat my ass.
I had it down to a science for the NES, bro. That was now they came out with another one.
There was a
Super Punch Out. Yeah.
Super Punch Out on Super Nintendo. Great game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
That was a good game too. But it wasn't the same. So
it was not the same. But I played the crap out of the one on Mike Tyson. So we'll see. I don't think I'll watch it. I'll probably just catch clips and stuff. But at the same time, like,
it's free on Netflix.
I know.
Yeah, I'm totally watching it.
I think I still have Netflix. I don't know. I sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't, just because some of their crap's not worth it. Looks like we got Dave Desert Tactical in here. We got Angry Sarge. They're talking videos coming up. Yeah.
They don't even give a shit about us. They're just talking about Desert Tactical.
They don't want to hear about Mike Tyson.
We're like matchmakers.
Hey, they got some good content out. I got to give Dave this. He shared my video. He shared my video. That was cool of him.
Nice.
And it was a fun little video, basically just to help, that way they don't have to buy my stuff. I give the best performance. It's not as good as mine, but at least give them some performance without.
For sure. Anything. Yeah. I mean, this subject matter expert material, like I'll take that anywhere.
Yeah.
If it's free, like, I mean, most of the time I'll pay for it. So if it's free, I'll take it, every day and twice on Sunday.
There you go. We got MF Wick 61 says Tyson will hurt that kid even though he's 58. This is true. I would not want to go against Tyson any day of the week. Doesn't matter how many steroids I was taking or how good a shape I was in. That man's a killer.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, as long as he takes it seriously, he absolutely destroys Jake Paul. There's no doubt in my mind.
No doubt whatsoever. But in this day and age, with the type of money the Paul boys throw around,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even saw so we had WrestleMania was last weekend. And that was spectacular. But we saw Logan Paul at WrestleMania, so he's wrestling. He's a champion right now in WWE. And then Prime is a sponsor in the WWE, so they had the Prime logo inside the ring for WrestleMania.
Oh my goodness!
And then they also are a sponsor in the UFC now, because UFC and WWE are owned by the same company.
Are they owned by the same company now?
Now they are. Yeah. Last year, Endeavor, which is an asset management company, bought the WWE outright. When Vince McMahon was going through all of his drama, he offed all of his shares and basically merged the company in with Endeavor. Has a subsidiary called TKO, and TKO runs the UFC and WWE as a joint venture. So they're different, but they're under the same umbrella in Endeavor.
Okay.
And so,
I didn't realize that, but
I'm telling you, I'm in, man.
if ever I have a question, I'll head it your way.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure they'll never see it, but yesterday was UFC 300. If you didn't get a chance or you didn't watch it, the Max Holloway Justin Gaethje fight from last night was fucking epic.
The only thing I got from WrestleMania was the gigantic bald spot on the back of John Cena's head.
That's true. Oh well, yeah. From he was actually quite distracting because he kept pulling his hair back to try and cover it.
Yeah.
And so he keeps growing it out longer, hoping that it'll just kind of fold over. But he really needs to do some transplants or something.
I just wanted to say the man's got money. The man's got money. He should go full rock and just buzz that stuff off. Trust me, you're much more aerodynamic that way. Much more aerodynamic. Just say
it's in now.
Good evening, Ronald. Good evening, South Georgia. Okay, well I'm here in South Louisiana, and then we've got Brandon up in which part of Michigan?
Right in the center.
Right in the center.
Right in the center.
Right in the middle of Michigan. What type of weather you guys have this time of year?
It's beautiful today.
Okay.
It was absolutely beautiful today. It was probably 70 degrees.
Okay.
And sunny, a little breeze. It was the first time I was driving with the windows open, the sunroof open, just chilling. It was great.
It was about 80 here. It's still around 80. High humidity, and I almost got carried away by mosquitoes. They are hitting it hot and heavy this year.
Yeah, see, there's a fine line. That's why I need to stay someplace that has a winter when we move, but I can't stay in a place that has a long winter. So I want it to be cold enough where all that shit dies off.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't. I don't want to deal with feet of snow.
Yeah, no snow here. I don't miss it. I do not miss snow. I wouldn't mind South Arizona like Dave over there, Desert Tactical. I would not mind living closer to the desert. Gonna be visiting the desert here soon. Part of the desert. Gonna head over to New Mexico. Gonna go check out Roswell, visit good friend Christina, who sometimes is on here. And we're gonna we're gonna check out some different areas. Maybe go see some Breaking Bad locations if they're not too dangerous.
There you go. Maybe eat a pizza on a roof somewhere.
You know, if everybody didn't do that, I'd have to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of I may still try. Yeah, if you see, if you see some short, I'm probably, as short as I am, I probably can't even make it on top of the roof. I'm gonna be honest.
You got to rent a Pontiac Aztec,
Yeah, that would be fun. Ugly ass. That is a terrible vehicle. That was a terrible vehicle.
However, it did start the trend of the vehicle tent setup, which I thought now has evolved into the truck top tent setups where you can just fold them out. They're beautiful and huge now.
Yeah.
I remember when the Aztec first came out, they had the one off the back.
Well, that was what the Aztec was supposed to be, that vehicle. And like you said, it pretty much introduced those tents. Yeah. And the concept vehicle was kind of a cool looking beast. And then they brought out the Aztec. Now, if the Aztec had come out maybe 10 or 15 years later, I really think it would have taken off more than it did.
We need a reboot.
No, it just don't. Pontiac's dead. Just let it.
I'd love to see a Grand Am, a new Grand Am, a new Grand Prix, maybe a new 3800.
Those 3800s were monsters. They were held together really well.
I had a friend of mine in high school. He had one of the coolest cars I had ever seen, and it was a two-door. It was a Grand Prix GT, but it was a GTP. And so, and it was a 5-speed stick.
What?
And yes. Oh, and then for shits and giggles, apparently, it was owned by a Pontiac executive.
Okay.
And he had sent it to Lingenfelter.
Yep.
To have work done on it. So all of the General Motors executives all lived around where kind of we grew up in that general area. Uh-huh. I didn't grow up in an affluent area, but there was a lot of them around us. And he ended up buying it off of a kid that bought it off of the executive.
Okay.
And it was a fucking ripper, dude. It was so fast.
Well, I was going to say, if it was a GTP, he must have custom ordered that thing as a 5-speed, having, access to the pipeline, because to my knowledge, the automatic.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. It's possible that Lingenfelter might have put it in. I don't know. It might not have been a factory manual. And so they might have done a transmission swap. I don't know. But and then unfortunately he smoked a deer with it.
Oh no.
And then ended up found a ridiculous, it was a 91 Camaro, but it had the most ridiculous big block I think I've ever seen that fit under a normal hood.
Wow.
So he was an adrenaline junkie.
I don't know anything about all that stuff.
Yeah. Shout out Jeremy Bell.
Go back to the Breaking Bad thing. There's a tour. There was at least one time, I think during the whole COVID thing, there was like a tour for like they would take you out in a ugly ass RV out into the, but the reviews say what, and I think it shows closed now, but the reviews say it got pretty bad as things were tightening up. So probably gonna skip that. We'll do some searching, and maybe I'll get some pictures around that area. But I do want to survive the
experience.
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, priorities and such.
Yeah, I do kind of want to survive that. Oh, hey, did I send you one of these yet? The new sticker?
No.
I gotta send you one of these bad boys.
Bullshit.
Yeah, well,
I should have had one already.
Well, I'll get you one sent out. Oh my goodness, don't do that. I'm still mostly in focus. Yeah, these guys, and I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but a patch. I'm gonna do a patch one of these. This is a 3-inch tall. I'm probably gonna go 4 for the patch, a little bit larger. Yeah, but man, these things are cool. These things.
Oh, they're cool, so awesome. It's the best design I've seen so far.
Man, it's up there. It's up there. And I did kind of do the dagger thing. So, I do sell a lot of dagger triggers. So I put the King of Glock and King of Daggers on there. So a sticker giveaway, I didn't even think about doing it. If you want a sticker, hit me up. I'll mail you one out. I don't need to do a giveaway. And there's 4 or 5 people here, and later on, if somebody watches it, hit me up. I'll hook you up with a sticker as long as I got some.
And how do we hit you up? I'm typing it in right now.
Okay. TacticalPontoon@gmail.com. I'll have my assistant put that in the comments. TacticalPontoon@gmail.com. One word, @gmail.com. He does good work. He's very expensive. It's very expensive.
My comment failed to post.
What did you do?
I just wrote your fucking email.
Well, I guess. Well, let me try. Since it's probably, I don't know why.
It's probably because they think it's spam.
I'll bet so. I'm gonna try it.
It's even a Gmail account on YouTube, for fuck's sake.
Let me try. Let me see. Oh, mine worked. You spammer. You spammer. I swear.
That's bullshit.
I don't know why. Go figure.
That's trash.
Yeah. There was something. Man, there was something I was going to bring up. But, as for Gmail's garbage, there we go. It's better than Yahoo. I used Yahoo Mail for the longest of time.
Oh my God.
And that was, man, it got worse and worse. And
I have all of our stuff is Gmail too.
Gmail, it works. Google works. It does.
Spam and eggs.
Yeah. Because you spamming stuff. Yeah, spam and eggs. Oh, do you remember? I was talking to somebody. Do you remember Google where you could? We're talking 2006, 2005, maybe earlier, or it might have been earlier, where you could text Google a question.
Oh shit, no,
dude.
I didn't even get my first smartphone until this was like 2008.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, you missed that then. You came in. This was pre-smartphone. This was like 3390 days. You could text Google. There was a Google number. You could text it a question and it would send you some results. Not clickable, but it would actually send out a string of if you text it like what's 1 + 1, or I don't remember what else. It wasn't out for very long.
Okay.
But it was a thing. So you don't remember it. So
I do not.
You're not old enough, even though we're the same age. I only bring that up because I saw a meme on Facebook where it said, back in the day, we used to check Google before we just posted it up publicly in Facebook, our stupid questions. And I remember when you could text Google, and I only used it like 3 or 4 times, but it was a thing. And I couldn't remember if you if anybody remembered. But it was legitimately a thing. You could text Google.
I remember when, so this was I was in college.
Okay.
And I got, so this was 2008, I want to say. A friend of mine, so I worked at Blockbuster. We've already talked about that when I was in college. I had a guy, coworker that I used to work with who got the Google G1, which is the original Google phone.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
And I remember that it had, I remember being absolutely amazed that it had a barcode scanner. So he would go and, he'd go to the little snack line that was right in front of the cash register, and he would scan a candy and it would tell him like where to find it. And I'd be like, you're fucking holding it. Like, why do you need that? Like, if you have it and you're scanning it, like, why do you need to know where it's at? He's like, because I can.
Yeah. And here we are nowadays. I think what you changed over to using QR codes for like instructions and instead of sending out versions. I actually need to change my my business card, the next run I have with QR codes. That way for like troubleshooting and stuff.
Oh, it's so much better.
Most people aren't going to use it.
That's true, but at the same
at least
time,
some people might.
They'll just search it. They'll go to YouTube and they'll just search it.
Yeah, or they'll ask. So, they'll put me on blast on Facebook and ask why.
Same here. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like, at least my thought process was when we released our parts for the first time was that rarely is anybody going to look at the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, it doesn't need to be crazy long.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just bullet points and kind of cliff notes. And so we don't really invest a whole lot of money into, making the product, like the throwaways, look good.
I get that.
And so all of our installation instructions come on a business card, vertical business card. And then on the back side, there's an install video with a QR code.
There you go.
And I just try to make it it's as simple as it could possibly be. Yeah.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, if anybody's ordered for me, and a few people might have, I keep it pretty basic as well. Like I said, you're just gonna throw all that stuff away. I mean, as nice as I don't have anything up here. I had some earbuds, a box. It was a really nice box. Relatively cheap earbuds, but they worked. And I kept the box around for far too long, and it's a nice box. It's got all the, like anything else, you open it up, it's, shadowed. It's got 5 or 6 different little pamphlets and a little sticker and all the extra little earbud things. It's a nice box, but you throw it away.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I was just talking about how it's all throwaway stuff. Yeah. I'm that guy that keeps all that shit. I have a little shelf in my basement, and I have all of my electronics boxes, all my phones, all the electronics, all the scopes and red dots, all of that stuff. I have it all.
Yeah, I've got like camera lenses. I do have some of my camera lens boxes, and I guess if I was ever going to try to sell any of them, it would be nice to have, but at the same time, why do I have this? I'm never going to sell this lens. I'm going to break this lens before I ever decide to sell it. It wasn't even an expensive lens.
Yeah.
Why am I keeping this box? I'm literally about to throw it away right now.
Yeah.
Done. Goodbye.
Dave from Desert Tactical talks about QR code. Sorry. I thought you were done. I thought we were throwing the box away and we were moving on.
I did. No, jump in there. It's gone.
Exactly. It's out. Dave was talking about QR codes on restaurant menus. I didn't know this existed until the other day. And yes, totally pisses me off.
Where
if
is
I
that
have to scan, the first place that I'd ever seen it is a place in Lansing, which is the capital of Michigan. There's a place called BJ's, of all places. It's a brew house, and they have barcodes instead of pictures. They only have a few pictures on their menu, but you can see like what their stuff looks like if you scan a QR code.
That's dumb.
That's so irritating.
That is okay. That's too much. That's too much because it's it's a menu, especially nowadays. Most menus nowadays are a laminated, that it's simple. It's super simple. And most of the time, you don't need a picture of it unless it's something, their house special or what they're known for. I get it. Put a picture up. But
yeah.
Now, come on.
Yeah. So I used to take, because I have a big family, we used to take the kids and stuff to Steak and Shake. Do they have that down by you, or used to?
Oh man.
So it's like an old school diner setup.
I know where it's. I know the restaurant, but I don't think we have any here. It's been a while.
So they're hard to find now.
Yeah, I like Steak and Shake.
Yeah, for a little while there, you used to be able to get. There was like a dozen menu items for like $4 or less.
Yes, sir.
And so we used to take the kids out there, and then any kid, and it was crazy. It was like any kid under like 16 could get like their choice of 3 dessert items for $1 more. And so if we went out there, it would be one of the cheapest places that we could go, and it was like a sit-in restaurant, and it was like the place that you take your kids when they're at that rambunctious crazy age, but you don't want to subject like real restaurants to them, but they used to have servers and all that stuff. Now they have kiosks.
Oh, God.
So you walk in, you order on the kiosk, and then you sit down, and then you have to get up and grab your food from the counter when it's done.
Wow.
So like, this is where we're going, right? Like there's only 2 or 3 people working in the restaurant at any time. It's a shit show.
It really is. I'm not one of those people that get butthurt about Walmart self-checkouts. I like Walmart self-checkouts. Okay.
Yeah.
I like those. Now, granted, my fiance worked at Walmart, and that's how we met. So like, I get that. But at the same time, I like Walmart self-checkouts because I'm normally faster than dealing with a checkout. But as for the restaurant side of things, come on.
It's a service industry.
Yes.
Like I get, okay. I actually read an article that apparently Walmart is getting rid of their self-checkouts. So because they have such high theft, and they cost more to maintain than it costs somebody to sit there and ring people up.
Correct. Because those machines, and it's going to be the same. It's like those self, you used to be able to go into some like Five Guys. You go in there and they had they've got the machine for drinks that you push the buttons and it, computerized screen, and then you get whatever, you want, a Dr. Pepper with lime, cherry, and vanilla.
Yeah. The freestyle machines.
Yeah. Freestyle machines done by Pininfarina. Most of those are being, gotten rid of because they're more expensive to maintain. Same goes with those self-checkouts.
Yeah. Steven, he's right. That I heard this as well, that you're going to have to pay to use the self-checkouts, a membership fee.
I'm not done. No.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
right.
Well, so Walmart was in an interesting situation where they had crazy high theft. They had all these maintenance costs, and they had all this shit going on, and they realized that, maybe it was a good idea to go back to servicing the customers the way that they used to. However, here's the problem.
You have to have more people.
Yeah, and shout out to anybody who works at Walmart that's a decent human being. But in all reality, especially the people that work at the Walmart near us, I don't even like conversating with them because of how they hate their job. Yeah, they're like a drain.
Well, a lot of them just, it could be an age difference gap where, we hated our jobs back in the day, but we kind of knew we had to, maintain a certain level of respect to customers. You don't really see that as much.
Yeah.
Right. They'll hire one additional cashier. Now they'll have 2 checkouts. So that was the thing before self-checkouts became a thing, was they had 37 fucking checkouts and 2 people.
Yeah. always pisses me off.
Oh my God.
And then the worst part about it is, even with the self-checkouts, now they're shutting down the self-checkouts at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And then they're going back to the 1 or 2 cash registers still open, during that time anyway. So it's like, they're not learning anything. They're just, they're trying to just do whatever they can to try and make the most money.
Since we're kind of on the grumpy old bastard, trail.
I mean, we're in our 40s now. We have a reputation to uphold.
We do. If we're gonna go down that route, you've got now the Walmart. What a channel! You've got the Walmart where you can order online all of your groceries. So not only do you have to fight all the other people, but you have to fight the Walmart employees that are doing the grocery shopping for everybody else too. I don't know if you guys have that in your area, but
they do. Yeah. So the Walmart, and then there's a Walmart competitor that's big in the Midwest called Meijer.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
So Meijer has these huge carts, like they're big square, like almost like luggage carts.
Yeah.
And they have a bunch of these huge blue bins that are in the cart. So there's like 16 of these big ass bins in this cart, and they roll the cart through the whole store, and it's as big and as wide as a cart, but then it's 3 times longer.
Yeah.
And it blocks the whole, if somebody from there is coming down your aisle, you can't see shit in front of them. So it just, it's ridiculous.
I'll tell you, it's something else. I don't know. We'll call that the end of our Walmart rant. How did we get on that rant?
I don't know. Just get off my lawn.
Okay, get off my lawn. I saw Embalm said the pay to self checkout was a hoax. So we'll see. Maybe I would probably sign up to it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Just to get it, just so I can get in and out.
I have a Prime membership, and I don't go to the store unless I have to.
I do a lot of. I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot of Prime, and it's gotten slow as crap here lately. There's certain places in the country right now. I don't know if you've noticed this with shipping and getting parts in and sending parts out. Alabama right now is super slow. USPS post office seems really slow in Alabama. California's always slow. What's the other place? There's another one. I can't think of it right now. There's a couple places in the country that's really extremely slow to get parts in and out of. And that's just something I've noticed.
So Alabama, recently I feel like Alabama's been like thorn in my side.
Weird though. Alabama,
Eastern Texas has been the same too, but that's probably different for you because it travels through like 4 different hubs to get to Eastern Texas from us.
Okay.
And everything in Houston sucks. Everything that goes through the Houston hub is just trash.
Houston, normally if I've got something that goes to Houston because it's literally right next door to me, it gets there pretty quick. So I've been pretty fortunate there. But Alabama, I've got parts that come from Alabama, and it's like it just falls off a cliff. All of it right now.
Where Gunco's from?
No, they're actually in California.
Are they? Oh my god.
Yeah. how they manage? They manage to make it out there. So
reminds me of that TikTok. Have you seen it with the Muslim guy? And he's like, brother, what is this?
I've been seeing that one. That's a good one. It might have to be a sticker. Of course, no, I'd probably get canceled for having a Muslim. Me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
I may do it anyways. We'll see. I haven't pushed. I mean, I did the Michelangelo with me as as God, but
you should probably ease into it and just do like trigger Muhammad first.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I do have to come up with the next design. I love this design, but it's kind of like a monthly design thing. So I try to come up with something once a month.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. But I got a big head, and I've what's not a big, but like an ego. Everybody says, "Oh, you got an ego. You put your face on everything, on your stickers, and you must really think a lot of yourself." I'm like, I do. Yeah.
I mean, I think that one, you've earned the right to do so. I mean, that's one part of it. But then two, it's like, I mean, let's be real. It's not like you're taking like a self-portrait and putting it on the stuff. Like it's a cartoonized, like like fucking, I can't think of the word. Something that's bigger than it's supposed to be. Exaggeration.
Keychain. It's fun.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. My internet failed us. My internet failed us for a moment there.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
My
girlfriend says it's okay too. I can fail from time to time. I got a lot of really.
Was that Batman?
Yeah, that's the Nolan Batman.
Oh, what the hell? I don't have that one.
You don't have that one?
No.
I'll send. Man, this is one of my. This one nobody get. A lot of people don't get this one. They're like, you got a trench coat on. I'm like, yeah, and I got goggles on it, and there's bats in the background. It's the Nightmare Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that one. Got a lot of stickers. These are just freaking great.
Yeah. Did you get a hold of my patch guy?
I haven't yet. I haven't sent him an email. I'm going to this week. I have to this week. I've been
Dave's the shit, dude. He's awesome.
I've been kind of busy. So I know you've been busy too. You've been busy too.
Busy.
I put an engine in. I dropped it in.
I saw it.
I didn't actually put it.
Looks good.
I got two bolts holding it in. So that's
two more than were there yesterday.
Exactly. Next one that I am trying to keep nice is going in from the bottom. I'm just going to drop because I already had the K-frame dropped for the damn steering rack. Next one's going in from the bottom. I'm just going to drop the K-frame in, set the car down over the engine, and then bolt the K-frame back up. That'll be the next one because
there you go.
It's still, I still scratch some stuff. I'm not happy about it.
It's bullshit.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, I need to say it looks like MF Wix 61 because I'm bad about remembering everybody's names. I need to send you some more. I got more stickers. I need to send them out. Get you some fresh ones.
Ooh, Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's up in your part of the area.
Yeah, not too far away, I guess. I could ferry over there.
Oh, we got Christian MR2 Scroll. That man has been building some cool shit for people. MR2s, obviously.
MR2s. I got a friend of mine who's got an MR2.
That's a cool car.
It is a cool car. I think I like the older ones the best.
Like the middle generation?
I don't even the oldest one. Like
the really square
fucking it looks like a Dorito with wheels.
Yeah, it looks like a Fiero.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. The other one, okay. I'm not. I'll be completely honest. I'm not a big MR2 buff. So the one where they elongated it, they made it really long. It always reminded me of an Eclipse.
Okay.
Like an 03 Eclipse and newer. And so for me, and I might be wrong, I'd have to Google it, but
you might because they had 3 generations
of the MR2.
Yeah, they had the very first one.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, they had the very first one in the late 80s. And then in the 92 to 96 era, they had the second generation. It was a little bit more rounded. That's my personal favorite. And then they had the MRS, which was also an MR2.
Yeah, but the two got flipped around, bro. That was the cool thing to do back then.
Well, here in the US, I think in Japan it was still considered MR2.
Oh, okay. All right. So
85 to 80. Okay, so he is talking. Christian's all about the one you're thinking of.
Yes, the older one.
Okay.
Yes. So okay. The middle Gen 2 to me looked like a Ferrari 355.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah. All right.
That would be the one I would have to have.
Okay. However, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to appreciate the design of some of the really quirky cars from our childhood.
Yeah, the 80s,
when we were younger.
The creased paper design of the 80s. I get you.
Yeah, like my brother's first car was a Beretta.
Oh shit.
And it
2.8 liters of fury.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like 170 horsepower. Like
that was a lot back then. That was a lot at that time.
Yeah, and I remember, dude, he felt like such a G because he put in a detachable faceplate radio. I remember he worked like all summer to buy this thing too, because it was like $500.
Oh my goodness, that's the early one.
That's turn off the compressor.
Oh, air compressor. I meant to ask you before the stream. I meant to ask him before the stream whether he turned his air compressor off. This fancy studio, just like mine. I don't have an air compressor in my fancy studio. I wish I was as cool as him, as had an air compressor in my studio, but I don't.
Oh yeah, that's saying something. If you think
Pinnacle
I have a studio,
it's a pneumatic. You have a pneumatic powered camera and everything. So that's
it's actually it's an air controlled generator that powers my lighting. Yeah.
Hey, I could see you doing that off the grid. I can see that happening.
Oh, okay. You want to talk off the grid? I've already been looking into the next house where we go this year sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I will eventually go completely off the grid, even with the shop.
Okay. Solar power and all that cool shit, or
so a whole off grid system with the solar. And then the battery backups and all of that stuff. Like I've been looking into it for years.
That would be cool.
Even calculating the usage of the machines that I'm looking at to try and gauge how much I need, what draws, and what capacities I need to be able to run it.
Have battery banks and all that stuff. That'd be cool. I eventually want to do some solar, put it out on top of the shop. But at the same time, I also don't want to blow away during a hurricane. That's one of the major problems down here. Hurricane.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that.
Okay, so because we've been looking in, that kind of area of the United States.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things that came up the other day when we were searching, because we noticed that there are some houses that fit our criteria in Louisiana.
Yeah.
But under looking at it a little bit more, my wife was concerned about the parish, like how much power the parish has, like over the area. Like there's still a very strict, like religious presence in the area. Is that true?
Parish is just a fancy word for county.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say.
Because she grew up like strict Catholic, so parish means something very specific to her.
I would not that I've really noticed. I mean, there's definitely some strict Catholics down here, and
I mean, you've obviously been in trouble with the law numerous times, and so
not really. I've stayed pretty under the radar. My biggest thing was the dog occurrence last year, but the cops, saw it for what it was. But no, I would say the biggest thing about Louisiana is just the hurricanes and obviously being, raped by mosquitoes. We actually it was Thursday. No, it was Thursday or Wednesday. There were tornadoes that went through. That was part of the bad weather. There was some tornadoes that actually touched down, some pretty close to my area. My place was fine, but there were some tornadoes that hit, and we had an insane amount of wind. So weather is a thing down here.
Yeah.
We just don't get winter.
Yeah, we don't want to get too close to the Gulf because of that.
Yeah.
So how far are you off the coast?
I can see the coast in less than 30 minutes.
Wow.
I'm right next to the coast. I can go out to the coast in about 30 minutes. So yeah, I'm southern Louisiana. Like,
yeah.
I'm in the armpit of Louisiana and Texas. Like they're like right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sweats like an armpit. I can assure you of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we're coming out of the cold weather and like into the warmer weather. So when it's unseasonably warm like it was today, we have been like, it feels really hot because it was really cold not that long ago. So that is that, you know, I feel you, even though it's not quite at that level.
You'll definitely enjoy the more mild weather the farther south you move.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think you were looking at like some in Arkansas and lower Missouri and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Not a bad part of the country. Missouri's a nice state, especially southern Missouri.
Yep. So Christian asked, first off, Steven was saying he was buying land in Arizona. That's nice. I hear Arizona's beautiful. We got some family that lives out there. I've never been out there except for connecting flights and such, and it's always been pretty nice.
I've always wanted to visit Arizona. I mean, I visited the Grand Canyon, but just like the tip of Arizona, and I've flown over it, but I've never actually spent any real time. I want to.
So one of my dreams is to go. Do you know who Jim Fuller is? From Fuller Phoenix, the AK guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Jim Fuller is like the godfather of the U.S. of the American AK. So he's a friend of mine, online friend, and he does classes for people who are in the industry, and a full build. You get to build a full build with him in the class over the course of a 3-day period, and then you go out and you test it and all this other stuff. Well, I told myself I've owned AKs in the past. I don't currently have any because I got to the point where I told myself I'm going to build one with Jim. It's going to be the first one I have, and I'm going to keep it forever. And he's getting older now, and he used to own Rifle Dynamics, was the founder, and he built Rifle Dynamics to the point where it was at, but he sold it. I want to say it was like 2018, 2019, something like that, before COVID. And they were in Nevada. They were in just outside of Las Vegas. I think it was like Henderson or something close to there. And then he moved down to Phoenix to kind of semi-retire. Yeah. And then started Fuller Phoenix. And now it's sucked him right back in, and he's doing the whole thing, but he's not going to be doing it for much longer. And so I've been trying to get down there. So I really, really want to do that.
Well, you're on your way to making that happen. He's just got to hold out for a little bit longer. I
agree. I'd love to. 2025, maybe late 2024 would be like perfect time to do it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can't believe it's 2024. I keep thinking in my mind 2022, 2023, and then it hits me. No, it's 24.
So Christian asked, when am I moving? I'm looking to move this year. We've grown. Our business has grown to the point where we don't have any more space. We don't have any more room. My kids are getting older. They don't have any more room. I have 4 daughters, so it's like fucking chaos. They love each other and hate each other all at the same time, and it's just a big melting pot of emotions and all of that. So we need to get out. We need to get our own space, room to grow, room to go around, and everybody has their own privacy and space and all that. So 2024, that's the goal, as soon as possible. We've already been looking, so we're planning a trip down into the Arkansas, Missouri area right now.
So, and that being said, buy a Canic, and get on the waiting list for a comp.
You got it. Yep.
Because they go fast when he's got them in stock.
Oh, God.
Working on stocking those back up right now, as well as optics plates.
Yep. Oh yeah. And we got some new stuff coming. I can't begin to tell you, like, every single time it seems like we go out of stock, I'm like, all right, let's increase inventory and let's increase production to X amount. And I make I'm a numbers guy, huge numbers guy. And I use projections and sales projections and all that stuff to give me an idea of where we're at and all of that. And I make like a really good educated guess as to where we need to be. Mm-hmm. And I still get absolutely pounded, dude. And
well,
it's tough. It's a good position to be in. It's just tough.
Yeah. Well, it's also, you've been putting some stuff in place to, bring more in-house where mm-hmm. you have more control over it. The machining industry is a very highly in demand industry, and having good suppliers and people that you can trust to build things to your specifications it's difficult. It's one of the reasons why Tactical Pontoon hasn't had its own trigger until, maybe here soon.
Yeah.
Is because finding that, reliable machine shop it can be a hassle.
It's tough. I mean, I get it from a business owner's perspective. We're a small but growing business, but I mean, if even our business doubles in a 12-month period, or even triples for that matter, some of these contracts, some of these machining operations are so big and so massive, and they're so demanding of their time schedules and their, requests for quotes and increasing or decreasing demand at any given time. Those businesses that rely on huge contracts like that, they got them by the balls. And I understand kind of the prioritization of things. I just wish that there was an understanding that a business like ours has potential to be the biggest contract you have ever seen ever, because we have built and cultivated a crazy loyal group of fanatics that are out there that love our stuff. And I'd like to think that it'll continue to grow, especially with, we try and listen to the customer as much as we can, and integrate their ideas, their great ideas, into our product lines and try to develop. We don't compromise shit. Like, we literally do the best job we can.
Yeah.
With the given information that we have at that time and what we're trying to do and the goals that we're trying to accomplish, the problems we're trying to solve. And all about this. It's like, as soon as you start to compromise, then you've lost your edge.
Yeah.
And I just, when you're growing at that clip, it's tough to say, I just need you to understand. Like, give me the chance, prioritize me for a little bit, and the sky's the fucking limit.
Yeah.
Whereas,
like you said, you gotta, and it's almost like when you first get out of college per se, and or trade school, and you don't have the experience, and you have to get a job, and all they want are people with experience. And you have to kind of sell yourself.
Yeah.
It's a similar deal. It's almost like giving your resume out without experience, and all you have is potential.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, even though now we have years of sales,
you have a track record.
Of huge growth and the ability to expand and all of that stuff. Like, I have dozens of new products that are in the process and all of that. And up until recently, our production capabilities were limited. And so we leaned really heavily on outside help. And that's been the goal over the last 6 to 9 months, is making that in-house and being able to grow that, because we can now fine-tune our quality control even more so. We can make faster moves within the industry. We're more agile, and it gives us an ability to do things that other larger companies or subcontractors or vendors or whatever you want to call them, they either are not motivated to do, or they are too slow.
Yeah. Well, I kind of touched on it. You've made some big moves here recently. You've been very busy behind the scenes, Very busy behind the scenes, and I've kept up with you on that. of just, it's now, and 2024 is definitely going to be the year. I see you guys heading on to better pastures where you're not stuck in Michigan.
Yep.
And just the insanity you went through during the 2020s was just crazy.
Yeah.
We had it bad enough here in Louisiana. I couldn't imagine Michigan. Or I was talking to my buddy who finally showed up 7 years later from California to pick up that old Jeep sitting in my backyard. He said, I've heard it said, but he said in California, they're still acting like COVID is alive and well, and masks and social distancing and that sort of thing. And he says it's insane.
It is.
It just blows me away.
I still to this day, because we would go to the grocery store and I wasn't wearing masks. We already talked about this, but I'll go, it's like now when I see somebody in the store and they're wearing a mask, my first instinct, intrusive thought, whatever you want to call it, is to badger the absolute fuck out of them, like they did to me when I would go into the store to go buy ranch dressing for my daughter because we were having chicken and fries.
Yeah.
And I got spit on once.
What?
By a guy. Yeah, fuck yeah. Inside of Meijer. I was going to get, I don't know if I'll ever forget it, but the guy.
Are you kidding?
Spit on me. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it was absolutely bonkers.
Well,
the way people were.
I'm going to put my mask on here because put my COVID mask back on. Just so you don't, get me.
Steven says it's an ideology. I'll take it a step further and I'll say it's almost a religion.
Oh yeah.
For a lot of people. They preach it, all of it, and it's ridiculous. And yeah, embalmed, hilarious, social distancing. My wife was exactly the same way. It was funny because she's also stubborn, and she'll be the first to tell you that. So when they told her she couldn't go anywhere, she wanted to go everywhere, but at the same time, she didn't want to be around anybody, so she didn't go anywhere. So it's a double-edged knife.
Yeah, that was, my goodness. I stopped going a lot of places, not because I was afraid of things. I was just tired of people bothering me about a mask. I went to a restaurant. I had a buddy in from out of town, and they were like, "You guys got to have masks on." I'm like, but when we sit down, we're taking our masks off. Yeah. So I was like, is this good enough for me to go sit down and then I'm gonna eat and then I'll walk out with like a bandit? Is that cool?
Yeah.
They actually went for it. Because it was a small place. They wanted obviously some money, but at the same time, like, come on, guys. This is
so we went in August of 2020. My wife and I, we went on a family trip down to Florida.
Oh.
And we took all the kids and we just we went in the car and drove down to Sarasota, Florida. And we were there for about 3 weeks. And Florida was open. Florida was great.
Yeah.
We had such a good time. And however, while we were there, high school friend of ours that my wife and I went to high school with has boys around the same age as my kids. And then her mom lives back in Michigan where she went to school and stuff. And so we ended up traveling back to Michigan with them, following us.
Yeah.
And so we ended up getting an Airbnb in Dollywood up on a mountain. It was called the Eagle's Nest. It was crazy awesome. But on the way home, when we got just outside of Detroit, all the kids, everybody was howling. They were hungry. They were tired. They just want to get out of the car. Yeah. So we stopped at a Denny's, and which is like a diner, if you're not familiar. And there was the 6 of us in our family, and then the 5 of them, her 4 boys and her. Her husband is a lineman an emergency lineman, like an electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they, right then there was a hurricane coming through in early September 2020. There was a hurricane coming through into the Gulf.
I know. I was there.
And yeah, so he went there preemptively, and so he couldn't make the trek with us. Yeah. But we went to Denny's with 11 people.
Uh-oh. They turn you guys away?
So Fuckers. Not only that, we sat down. They sat us. There was only one other group of people that were eating. It was a table of 3 or 2 or 3.
They sat you down.
They sat us down. And then the manager came out and told us we had to have masks on. And we said, no, that's not true. Like there's nothing, no reason for that. We're already sitting. We already put in our drink order.
Oh my God. They turned you out.
Yeah. And so we're talking an empty Denny's restaurant that was probably going to get $200 worth of food because she's got 4 boys.
Yeah.
I have 4 growing girls and then there's 3 adults.
Well, it was probably closer to $150 back then because, you know.
Maybe. I don't know. But
it wasn't as expensive.
When we told them that we weren't going to put masks on, that they had to call their manager, the manager came out and was like, listen, if you don't put masks on, we're going to call the police.
How? Yeah, Michigan was pretty hardcore, which is really weird.
So it was ridiculous. We left there, drove about a half hour to go to an Applebee's that was right by the college that I graduated from. Yeah. And they sat us, no problem.
Really?
We sat without masks. We ate without masks. It's all good.
I would have thought of it the opposite. I would have thought Applebee's would have kicked you out. And,
I agree.
And Denny's would have kept you. But man,
I agree.
Such weird times.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
I gotta say, the way all that stuff was handled, Louisiana was better than most. But like I spent most of 2020 wearing this thing at work. Going through armed guards, by the way. it was a lot of fun, but it was hot as crap. But I don't miss all that bullshit that we went through for all of that.
Speaking of the government, though, did you hear about the Iranian drones?
And
all of that.
Some of it. I'll be honest. I haven't paid too much attention because at the same time it's like, oh my God, guys. No, go ahead. Fill me in with a little bit of information because I did miss.
Well, I think
some of our money.
I think that it's I can only give you what I read, and so who knows if that's accurate or not, but and I think that's the reasoning for everything and the misinformation so that nobody knows what's real and what's not anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the idea was that both Britain and the United States were doing defensive maneuvers to basically keep, and they never talked about whether they were like armament drones or surveillance drones. Like they never specified if it was like an armed drone or if it was but anyway, there were essentially hundreds of drones that I read were coming in from Iran into the Israeli airspace.
Yeah.
And the US and Britain were joining forces to defend the airspace against those drones. So now we're talking about Iran being involved in which there was talk and there was like, kind of an idea that maybe they might get involved, but that's an official statement, which means if there's an official statement out, that means they've probably been involved for quite some time. And then also you're talking about an official move made by both the U.S. Department of Defense and the British Defense Forces.
Yeah. I'll tell you, kind of like Steven says, another forever war. Most likely we get involved in something like that. It'll be another 20 years of us spending a ton of money sending troops on the ground. And
well, we have a really bad economy, and that's usually the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a really nice economy. The world was actually doing pretty well until I mean, not everything, but I mean, still, there was a lot more money in my pocket in 2019 and early 2020 than the last 4 years. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and I was also working on military aircraft at the time. And you know, we serviced some very important military aircraft that's no longer around right now. That would be perfect for this war. More to come. But you know, like you said, that's kind of how it goes when the economy's bad. Throw a war up and they start pumping money into different projects. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we had the Russia thing that's still going on for forever, and now
and then you had the Israel-Palestine thing.
Uh-oh, there my internet goes again. Well, on that note, let's we've had our hour. We missed last week, and I believe I'm gonna miss next week, and I may miss the week after. So this may actually, because this next week, my good friend Scott, who's probably not watching because he didn't watch anymore, jerk. He's gonna be in town, and then after that, I'm headed out to New Mexico for some time to get away. So yeah, maybe another 2 week span. So, well, at least for me, I might
have to fill in.
You may have to fill in. Maybe invite. I got to
make up for the previous 2 weeks.
Well, that's true. You missed a really good show with Will. He was an excellent guest.
I watched it. He was way more charismatic than even I am.
He's pretty good. He and he, you know, maybe you could get Josh on since really cause a stir. That would be cool. Oh, Blade Boy, yeah, you did miss. Here's why. Here is why I believe all of the notifications went out late, because I scheduled this for last week and then we both were not able to make it. Yeah, I'm going to go with both of us. I'm not going to put all the blame on your shoulders. I could have been here. It was actually also my fault because I could have made it, but I took it off because Anyways, totally so the notifications, but it was also my fault because I could have jumped out here on my own.
It was WrestleMania weekend. So we'll blame it on that.
We'll blame it on The Rock.
And he was there.
He was there. We'll blame it on that. But at the same time, the notifications probably didn't go out on time because I rescheduled it through StreamYards, and it, for this week, and I think it just messes up. So if we miss a week, I'll just completely exit out of that stream and then start a fresh one. That's my guess.
Yeah. But real quick, rip Smokey.
Rip Smokey.
Yeah. See, he had to put his dog. Oh no! He had to put his dog to sleep. We had to put one of our pets down about a month ago. It was brutal. Yeah. And we've lost a lot of pets over the years. Definitely condolences, and I am a firm believer in the Rainbow Bridge, and so I believe that we get all of our pets in another life, and so that's you can look forward to that.
I hope so. Yeah, my dogs are getting up there in years. I was looking at that the other day, and that's never 14. Easy.
14. That's that weird spot, right, where it's like, our cat. He was 18, and like my oldest daughter, she like hasn't ever been. I'm not trying to make it about me or anything, but it's the same concept. They're at that age where you don't know. They're either gonna hang around forever, or
14's up there.
14, yeah.
Wow. I've never had a dog that made it that far. So
my dog's 12 right now. Our current dog Luna, she's 12.
Okay.
And so, well, she'll be 12 this year. But yeah, that's tough. Yeah, diabetes. Oh, that's so brutal, man.
My boxer that I had him for. He was rescued, so I don't know exactly how old he was, but I had him for 7 years. I had him for 7 years, and however old he was before he was rescued, and he was skin and bones when we got him. He passed January 1st of 2015, and he was getting old, he was getting gray, but he was a boxer, so he had a lot of energy, just less spurts of it. I came home from a party December 31st. Maybe it was early January 1st. And he was good. And I woke up the next morning and his back legs had stopped working. Like it was a nervous, like his nerve system, it was shutting down. His back legs would not, where he could like stand on them, but he couldn't move them.
Yeah.
We took him to the vet, and during while the vet was looking at him, he's starting to have issues with his front paws where he was unable to use those, like they were stumbling, and I had to put him down back then. So that was tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steven, he talks about picking food, for your animals. Yeah. We went grain-free organics a long time ago. And it's made a world of difference in the health and the energy levels of all of our cats and their coats and all of that stuff. And our dog eats typically raw meals.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he's saying he supplements with raw. And I agree, man. You need to think about the natural predators meals, what they're eating, and that's what they should be eating.
True. No, and that is something I've done various different things with my dogs. I probably give them too many treats. But
they're the bestest boys.
They are, and girl.
Yeah.
So, well, Blade Boy, I hope just, it's tough. I hate losing a friend too. And just, we're thinking about you. And
for sure.
What we'll do is we'll have to, like I said, we're going to be missing for at least a week unless Brandon steps up and wants to.
Don't count on it.
Yeah. But we'll be back, and we'll have at least another guest or two. Maybe we'll get Josh, since Will called him out a lot, and get him on here, or maybe Tommy. It'd be good to have Tommy on here, or maybe we'll go old school and drag Shane out of the oil field.
Any one of those would be fantastic,
man.
And I know all three of those guys pretty well.
Oh, and they'd all come on. I get lazy about asking people because and I know they're busy, and I get off doing things. The next thing I know, it's Thursday, and I haven't asked anybody. I haven't even done a thumbnail or anything. And so, but anyways, guys, we will catch you on the next one, whether it's next week or the week after or the week after that. But we'll do it again. All right, guys.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys later.
See you later.